Hey everybody, George Levy here with Bitsonline. I'm at the Future of Bitcoin in Arnhem, and I just got out of a session with Juan Garavaglia from Bitprim. Juan, thank you for being here with Bitsonline.
Thank you.
I'm very excited about what you were presenting in your session. You were talking about Bitprim, and as I understand, Bitprim is a Bitcoin implementation.
Yes, we are a Bitcoin development platform that includes an implementation. This is probably the main part, but it also includes a family of tools and projects that helps makes easier the development of Bitcoin for the future.
So one of the things that I found very interesting about your session is you were talking about that Bitcoin has a problem. And what you mentioned is that there's a lack of developers in the Bitcoin space. There's just not enough innovation and new development being done.
Well, it's not about innovation itself. There is innovation. There are many good ideas, but with ideas without people with the skills to make it happen, never happens. So there are ideas. There are enough funding to make it happen, but there is a shortage of developers, and that the situation is not improving at all. So it's important to the Bitcoin community to create a better ways to get involved, a better ways to train the people interested in this technology that really has a lot of hype and a lot of future, but it proves to be very, very complex to get involved. So we need to do our best efforts in order to make that learning curve easier for new developers. So it's not a lack of ideas or innovation, just we need much more hands coding to replace a system that have been in use for many, many years.
Got it. So from what I gather, what you're saying is that there's a lot of smart ideas, but there's basically no developers to program it.
It's a simplification, but yes.
Fair enough.
The short answer is yes.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Now, the question I asked, though, and I love the way that you were presenting it. So basically, Bitprim is a set of tools. It's development tools. It's a platform.
It's a development platform that includes as the core as the heart of the implementation, the platform Bitcoin protocol implementation, and also other tools to make to simplify all the process of learning and using the Bitcoin engine. If not, it requires extremely high skills in C++ and other programming languages that are not so common and probably were some of the more advanced. So in order also to provide a solution that attracts developers from newer technologies and probably younger people, we are doing a big effort in order to develop an interface for the most common and most modern languages.
That was one thing that really struck me about your presentation, because Bitprim is actually, it's multilingual. Like, it basically speaks Python. It speaks how many languages? Well, what does it speak?
Oh, basically we are developing internally interfaces in C++, C, Python, Go, Node.js, and Python, Go, and Node.js, and with the documentations we have, with those implementation languages as references, many other languages can be implemented very, very easy. So after we finish with the main targets, we probably expand, but it's not difficult to imagine other people developing their own language, the interfaces for other languages in the very short term. And also we have been contacted by developers of other languages that wish to do that job. So hopefully that will happen.
So what I understand from that, and what I think I understand, is like, if you're a developer and you speak any of these languages, or actually not speak, you actually program in any of these languages, you actually, using Bitprim, are able to code for the Bitcoin platform. Yes.
Yes. You can connect. You can use our code base in C++ natively from the language of your preference as a library. So you can use all the capacity of the engine directly from the language you prefer. So simplifies a lot the process of understanding how the code works in C++, and also give us usually the most modern languages are provide a faster development environment. So also even people that are pretty good in C++ are considering to use our engine using other languages because they think they can develop faster in those languages.
And that's one of the things that I like the most about the approach that you were presenting in your session, is that your goal is to make things as efficient as possible for new developers to get on the ramp.
Yes, because
you lower the learning curve, basically the barrier to step in.
It's the main mission right now, because without developers there's no future. So we need to improve it as much as we can, as fast as we can. Imagine Bitcoin is the most advanced cryptocurrency in the market, and obviously the most advanced, the most mature is the most complex one, and considering it's the first one that evolved from the early beginning, still has some parts of ancient code inside, so you need to learn the biggest and most complex platform. That is not very sexy for new people, and also we are not alone in this cryptocurrency ecosystem, and there are competition from one side from platforms for smart contracts, and in the other side companies hiring blockchain experts for their internal projects, like banks, insurance companies, fintech companies. So there is a lot of demand of developers from corporations. There is a lot of demand there is a lot of new developers getting attracted by smart contracts technologies that are much more friendly, simpler to start. So but the big deal is still Bitcoin. So we are trying to make it as easy as possible in order to make help to get much more developers, in order to replace in order to have a space in the financial system. We need to create a system to compete, and to compete with a system that has electronically money has been represented for at least 60 years, and paper money for, I don't know, but probably over at least 1,000 years. You need a system so mature, you need to replace it. You need many developers, and needs to put a lot of effort in that. Without the developers, that will never happen. I'm sure we're going to solve it. I'm very positive about it, but really we need to pay attention and put it in priority number one. So I'm trying to create the attention in the ecosystem about this, and trying to be aware of this in all the decisions we are taking day to day.
One of the things that struck me about your session was your focus on the need for developers, and we've spoken about that, but you're actively looking for developers as is.
Well, really, we need more developers also for us as a company. As a company, we are part of the ecosystem, and we have an open source platform. But also we need developers, and we need developers full time, and so we are actively looking for at least 40 developers in the short term. Ideally, in the next 12 months, probably 90.
How can people find out more about Bitprim?
Well, they can connect to our webpage, where we have the documentation, the technical information on the project, that is bitprim.org, or they can connect to the Slack channel, that is bitprim.slack.com.
Perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the Bitsonline audience? Anything about Bitprim, your future plans, anything to leave us with?
Well, yes, Bitprim is building really a professional alternative platform to make Bitcoin become part of the everyday life, and also helping creating the foundation for the new applications, and then the applications that make Bitcoin really be a really big part of the life of users every day.
Fantastic. Juan, thank you very much for being on Bitsonline. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. From the future of Bitcoin, it's George Levy. Thank you.